Welcome, everyone, to the Believe in Bengal podcast with Solomon Wilcots. And first of all, it is my pleasure to welcome to this episode. And of course, it's our Say Hello to the Bengals Rookie Series. And of course, we have their first round pick in the 2023 draft, Myles Murphy, joining us on the show. Myles, how you doing today?
Doing just fine.
How has it been for you so far? I know you got a lot on your plate. Going through the OTAs and the mini camp, and you just arrived in a new city here in Cincinnati. What has it been like for you so far?
Really, it's not too much of a big adjustment, really. The players have been very inviting. Helping me out with any questions that I've had. The biggest adjustment has really just been the different language of the playbook from Clemson to now going to the NFL Bengals playbook and their language and their play style. That's probably been the biggest switch up that I had to adjust to, really.
Now, look, you had a great career at Clemson. This past season, I think you ranked second overall in the ACC with total quarterback pressures. You were very productive in your 3 years as a starter. And then you go into this draft process. You get ready for the scouting combine. You're touring around with different teams. You're trying to get your workouts in. It had to be this mad rush or this sort of very busy time for you. Then you have to sit still and wait to hear your name called. So help us to understand, what was it like for you in your home, and where were you at when you got the call and you heard that the Bengals were on the other end of the line drafting you with the 28th overall selection in the draft?
Really, it was just one of those things. I was at the point where I was tired of the waiting game. I just wanted to play football. It didn't matter for where I was playing. It did not matter. I just wanted to play football at that point. But really, that whole, like you said, the rush of going on 30, I kind of did it bad for myself because I did my pro day late, and I had 8 to 10 30 visits back to back. So I was on a flight every single night to a different state, and having to fit in those times to go to I guess a hotel weight room and just get a sweat in. And some of them didn't even have a weight room, so I either had to just call it a night or just figure something out, really. But other than that, it was kind of a struggle, but it was an experience that at the end of the day I enjoyed it. And when it comes to the draft night, I had my draft night. Me and my family, we rented out an entire nightclub, and I had we had 150 people RSVP, and we had 172 people show up to the draft party. So it was a big turnout. Everyone had a lot of fun, and there was a lot of anticipation building up, especially when we got past the 10s and we get past the 15, and get into the 20s, get past 25, late 20s. But most definitely, once I got that phone call, it was really more so just to finally, I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to play football. So it was a big sigh of relief, really, once that phone call happened.
What went through your mind when you heard it was Cincinnati Bengals? What was the first thing that kind of crossed your mind there?
I can't believe teams let me go onto this team. that was literally the first thought, and I was let's make plays, really, yeah.
So you're thinking, I can't believe that guy went before me. I can't believe that guy went before me. Look, we're all competitors, and so I think what I'm hearing for you at 28, you had to be thinking, okay, now it's time for me to show some people that they should have taken me sooner. Is that fair?
I guess that's one of the feelings. That's one of the feelings that was in my body. Yeah.
Well, I could tell you this: we were all elated here in Cincinnati because we didn't think you'd be there, and then when people went back and started looking at the tape and they started looking at the metrics, and I looked at a guy running 4.5 140, and I'm like, this guy's faster than some of the defensive backs playing in our league. Just kind of talk to us about the way you approach the game, using your physicality, because you seem to have great versatility to your game.
My biggest thing really just being disruptive. That's my biggest thing. If you can be disruptive, whether it be throughout the week, you're disrupting the offensive coordinator, thinking, "Oh, yeah, I gotta always remember where 90, well, now 99. I'm about to say 98, 99 is on the field, and disrupting the offensive coordinator, their game plan, and then on the field, being able to be disruptive in the five technique or the three technique, or all the way out into a wide nine, getting out of the pass rusher, just being disruptive in the backfield. Really, that's really my number one biggest thing right there. And really, I'm about to say, really, I don't want to go too deep into it, but of course, it all starts with film. It all starts with the way you watch film and what you take from it. And honestly, people stick to their tendencies, and their tendencies stick out on film, and you will find those things. So those are the two biggest things that make me who I am on the field.
Myles, what is it about your time at Clemson that you think best prepared you for this next phase, playing at the next level in the NFL?
Most definitely, I kind of harped on it a little bit. The way that the coaches kind of taught me how to watch film, because even in high school, I would watch a lot of film, but I guess it would be like kind of like a quantity over quality type deal. I would watch a lot of it, but I wouldn't get much out of it. But throughout my years in Clemson, I would learn how to watch film, what to actually look at. So the quality of the film that I watched, it was a lot more productive, and I got a lot more out of it.
Now, you come to the Cincinnati Bengals. When you walked in that locker room, was there at least one familiar face, a former Clemson Tiger that you kind of recognized in the locker room that made you feel maybe right at home? And if so, who was it?
I'm about to say I recognize all the Clemson guys, but most definitely Jackson Carman, because that's the only guy that I actually played with.
Yeah.
So because we played my freshman year. He was on the team, and then after my freshman year, he went on and got drafted by the Bengals. But that's the only, I guess, really familiar face that made me feel at home a little bit.
Was a guy like T. Higgins? Did he ever come back to campus while you were there? Did you ever get a chance to socialize with him at all?
Not too much. He would come by. I know he was at some of the spring games and some other big games, and he'll go into the facility and whatnot. But I guess really didn't know each other all that well at the time. But so we, I guess, introduced ourselves, but it wasn't much of a huge conversation type deal. But most definitely gonna get to know each other now.
Well, everyone in Cincinnati is sort of curious about, you grew up in Atlanta, and there's this picture of you and DJ Turner having grown up maybe miles apart at a birthday party when you guys were just kids attending a birthday party. And now you end up getting drafted one round apart. You're in the first round, him in the second round, to the same team in the same city. What's the backdrop behind that story? How did you guys end up in this picture together when you were growing up as kids in Atlanta?
Really, that's more so like our parents, because my mom and his dad, they've known each other since first grade because they grew up in the same neighborhood, and they just been friends ever since, really. And once my mom got married and his dad got married, we all just really kind of just stayed together, I guess, and really that's how that picture came to be.
That's wonderful. That's very interesting. Did you and DJ kind of know each other, or even stay in touch in the years following that photo, leading up to this time in your lives, or was it more moving in and out of phase with one another?
It was more so just like we would talk every once in a while because college. He went up to Michigan. I went over to Clemson, so we would talk like very seldom. But that's kind of how that relationship was.
Yeah, now you guys end up being teammates with the Cincinnati Bengals together. Just a couple of more questions, and we'll let you get out of here. Talk to me about maybe some of the things that you're looking to work on. That if you said, "Hey, here's a couple of things that I feel like I can get better on," and over the next few weeks, playing with guys like with Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, and some of the other guys on that Bengals defensive line. What is it that you would like to accomplish?
Honestly, just getting a few from Henderson and Sam. So really studying. I've already been studying how they rush, and I'd love to just get like a I guess in depth look of how they study, how they watch film, how they prepare for an opponent and whatnot. So really just I guess really improving on my game in general, whether it be pass rush, stopping the run, just getting every any type of tip I can from my teammates really.
Okay, well, hey, that's good. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from there. You're going to get to spend a lot of time with your teammates. And one last question, because we got to ask all the rookies: have they indoctrinated you with Cincinnati chili yet? And if so, what was it, and how did you like it? And you can be honest, okay?
Yeah. So they have told me about. I haven't tried it. I have not tried Skyline chili just yet, but I will. I will soon.
Okay. Well, we hope you like it. I got to tell you, I grew up on the West Coast, and I was used to a much thicker chili, Miles, more of the Southwest type of chili. And the Skyline chili, it's more runny, it's a little loose, it's got some cinnamon. They pour it over spaghetti. You can have it with onions and cheese and things like that. And so it's a little bit different, takes some getting used to. Some people absolutely love it. My kids, for instance, who were born here, they absolutely love it. Usually when you sort of parachute in from somewhere else, it takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say about that. But you'll have to let me know how you like it, okay?
Sure.
All right. Well, hey, we thank you. We appreciate you stopping by to join us here on the Believe in Bengal podcast. We look forward to catching up to you real soon. All the best to you, Myles.